What's up, Soul Family? Coming at you with another collective reading. This one's gonna be on... We have Needle and Thread with A Sincere Wish Will Be Granted. That being said, for the next week, if you guys are looking for a one-on-one reading, I'm doing a flash sale, so it'll be $20 for your reading. It'll be 20 minutes, and you can either ask whatever questions you want, or I can pull and see whatever cards come out for like a general reading. If it doesn't resonate for one reason or another, then I'll simply refund you. That being said, let's jump right in. So I guess let's first kind of see like where this wish is that we're kind of like, I guess, working around. So we have Throne with Position of Authority, and then Nest with an emotionally secure, loving family is important to you. So already it makes me feel as if you are maybe about to get like a promotion, or you're going to step up, or you're going to like lead something or take charge of something in some capacity. So yeah, maybe it's something when it comes to work. Maybe you're about to get a promotion or step up. And I say this because the Eight of Pentacles has a lot to do with like somebody who is still very skilled at what they're doing already and very talented, but it points towards like them continuing to hone and master their craft. So I'd like to think that whoever you are, you're about to get some kind of recognition or become like a leader in some capacity, in some shape and form. And then with the Four of Swords, I think it's simply calling for you to maybe take a step back. So maybe you are doing well as it is, and in order to prevent yourself from burning out, you are being called to take a step back and approach whatever situation you are approaching with more strategy, maybe. Maybe stop and think about ways you can maybe stand out or be different or be unique versus trying to, I guess, power through whatever situation you're already in. And I say this because sometimes when we're trying to step up in leadership or something like that, we're trying to figure out like what we can do to, get that position. And sometimes it's literally just embracing ourselves or stepping into that role from a very unique perspective. When we are the ones who get to kind of step into authority, we have to consider the kind of leader we would want to be. And maybe consider that and start to take steps to embody that more. And then we have the Page of Swords. So maybe it's time to get like really curious and to stop and really think and really consider and really fine tune like what your idea of this energy, or like what this will bring for you, or like how you'd want to embody this, I should say. That, or maybe you're being called to simply approach this with an open mind instead of thinking that it has to go a certain way, being open to maybe it shifting, or not getting it from a conventional way, or learning how to do this from a conventional standpoint. Sometimes we end up becoming somebody who has authority in some way, shape, and form because we do it from an out-of-the-box perspective versus a way that everybody else has done it before. Sometimes we need to have a shift in how we do something for things to work out better. And then we have the Four of Pentacles. So maybe we're having to like let go of older ways of doing things, or older ways of navigating situations, or older ways of interacting with things. And so maybe it's like we are like the move that we're being called to take is to let go of the older mentalities and the old ways of doing things to then learn something that will give us the advantage in what we're trying to bring in. And then with the other card that makes the card that said like family matters are important to you. Let me kind of see what's going on there. Like it seems kind of. So maybe for one reason or another, it's like your job or whatever you're trying to bring in, like, or whatever authority that you're trying to become. That, or maybe it's even talking about the authority you have like over, because you could be like a parent over like, or a foster parent, or taking care of somebody, or taking charge of somebody or something. So maybe you're doing what you're doing for the sake of being able to take care of your family properly. Maybe there is the energy of you having to let go of maybe old ways of approaching situations or approaching scenarios when it comes to your family. Maybe you are having to learn how to navigate the situation from a different perspective, especially when it comes to children or people who are younger than us. Many times they act as like almost flashlights, almost as like mirrors to kind of shine light on, flashlights, kind of shine light on areas where we might need to work on certain things. And sometimes that then allows us to have like a lot more positive interactions in the long run. So maybe the authority that you are becoming or working around is the energy of taking care of another individual and learning how to do so in a healthy way. Let's see a couple more. And then we have the Judgment card. So I'd say that maybe in addition to whatever you're going through, you're being called to trust your connection to like the universe, the divine, your guides, to get you whatever you want to bring into this experience. So I mean, it could be like a rocky path at the moment. It could be like a little bit difficult. So maybe you're being called to trust your connection and trust your intuition and trust that your judgment is getting you to where you got to get to. Funny enough, I actually didn't mean to say judgment in that sense. It kind of actually just came out. It really wasn't like, no pun intended. But I think you're really being called to trust your judgment as you navigate through situations. And then with the Nine of Swords at the bottom, it's like the energy of not allowing like the voices in your mind, like not allowing anxiety, not allowing like whatever you think might be an issue to actually impact whatever situation you're going through. So really trust your intuition to handle whatever situation you're trying to navigate in. Trust that your connection is and your that you're getting the steps needed to take care of whatever it is that you're trying to take care of. If you're trying to become a leader in some capacity, like again in work or something like that, then if you feel like you're being called to maybe take an extra course or to get this certification or to do that or this, then trust that. Or if you feel like you are being called to maybe learn this skill or just do something different in general, then trust whatever you're getting and try your best not to overthink it, especially when we are trying to step up or step into the world of some form of authority or power in some capacity. We can sometimes have like imposter syndrome or have anxiety, or our mind play tricks and almost like tell us that we are not, capable of doing what we're trying to do. But I think that's when it's most important to lean in on the trust that we have for ourselves to get where we want to get done and to continue to move forward from there. Or even if this is related to like you taking care of like kids or something like that, then really trusting that even if what the resolution to whatever situation you might be experiencing might be like unorthodox or might not be something that is, traditional or something like that, that you're trusting that you're making the right call in the face of what you're experiencing, regardless of how it might seem. It's like really trusting that you are navigating the situation in a way that is beneficial, even if other people might not necessarily understand it. Sometimes you have to like and even you might yourself might have your doubts, and it might be just like the inner critic, or maybe it is like other individuals who are kind of like talking behind your back and causing like this anxiety. But I think the most important thing is to, again, lean in on the signs that you are getting. You know what you're feeling, you know what you're connecting to, and not allowing any external sources to tell you otherwise. And again, I say this like use that with discernment. Sometimes there are times like where we can be not necessarily in the healthiest headspace and then connecting to spirituality, and then that could be causing negative things. So I'm not trying to tell you to completely shut out any advice, especially when people could be well intended or trying to help you in the long run, or people who might actually have information that could benefit you, or people who might actually look out for you. So I'm not saying this to completely ignore whatever advice you're getting, but if you really do have a strong connection and you are navigating through something, then to trust that you are connecting to what you're connecting to and that it's leading you to where you got to get to in the best way. Hopefully that message made sense. I feel like this one's a little bit like jumbled. It wasn't flowing as much as I guess some messages come through. But either way, peace and blessings, and I'll catch you guys in the next reading.